This is another reaction video, and today I am watching UFO or UAP videos.
On January 12th, 2026, a mass UFO sighting took over multiple cities across Brazil, quickly becoming one of the most discussed UFO incidents in the country in recent years. Throughout the evening, residents from different states began sharing videos of what appeared to be the same unusual object moving through the night sky.
That's a good sign. Has multiple videos, so it's hard to debunk that this is fake or AI because multiple people recorded the video.
Across the videos, the UFO appears as a luminous, cigar-shaped object gliding rapidly through the sky. In total, 4 videos were shared online, each recorded in a different city at around 8 p.m. The first sighting was reported in Miguel Pereira, in the state of Rio de Janeiro.
Okay, it's hard to know how it's floating, right? Because this is the first thing that always comes up to my mind. How this thing can float. Now, I've seen some UAP videos like the one in the military, how some of these guys are moving really fast, or they'll do a sudden shift of move. They'll do like a 90-degree in a high speed setting. This one, they said it's only gliding. So I'm trying to reverse engineer how you can move, how you can glide this thing. I'm trying to make sure that it's not possible to be made by human. So one way for me to think, one way of making this thing glide, it's huge, looks huge, is you can attach probably 5 or 6. If it's like a light plastic, you put some LEDs inside, and then on top you attach it to 5 or 6 large drones. That's one possibility. But I want to see the rest of this video.
Shortly after, a similar object was filmed in the state of Goiás, nearly 600 miles away. The third and fourth recordings came from Ribeirão Preto and Ibitinga, both located in the state of São Paulo. Beyond these 4 videos, there were additional reports from at least 2 other Brazilian states, although no footage from those locations has surfaced so far. According to eyewitnesses, the object was flying low and fast, did not follow a steady route, and instead vanished abruptly without fading or slowing down. The sheer distance between each sighting raised immediate questions, with some speculating that the same object could not have traveled such vast distances in such a short time, which led some to believe these were separate sightings of similar UFOs. A common explanation put forward was that the phenomenon could have been related to a Starlink satellite launch. However, many witnesses strongly rejected this theory. They noted that the object moved much faster than typical satellites, appeared significantly brighter,
you would see more
and was flying
vapor
far
trail
lower than any satellite would. What made this case even more compelling was its connection to a previous incident that took place on August 9th, 2025, when a similar cigar-shaped object was recorded in Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil. In that...
That is believable. Because you can't see any drones, you don't see any propeller. How is this thing floating? See, I don't like UAP footage at night in the evening because you can't see the minute details. But this one is hard to debunk. If it's floating like that and then suddenly it moves, how is that possible? What force is pushing this to propel forward or sideways? You don't see that. Unless the military has somewhat, we have a lot of brilliant minds. I am not going to lie to you. And most of these brilliant engineers, scientists, are working for the military. And the best way for them I'm gonna say the best way for them to utilize their intelligence, maybe it is to engineer an aircraft, an anti-gravity aircraft, somehow that levitates. It could be like God, so many things racing in my mind right now, like anti-levitation device, anti-gravity device. Because I'm thinking that our own military have already either reverse engineered a UAP or have engineered this thing to almost to perfection, close to perfection. Okay, let's watch.
Case, the object was filmed in broad daylight, offering a much clearer view of the UFO. Despite the many witnesses, recordings from different locations, and both daylight and nighttime footage, just like many similar cases involving cigar-shaped UFOs, this sighting remains unexplained. This next sighting takes us to January 14th, 2026, in Pflugerville, Texas, where a mysterious object was captured completely by chance during a live stream. The streamer, known as Chicken Andy,
footage
was broadcasting when he and his viewers noticed a strange triangular formation of lights in the sky. Right away, Andy said the objects didn't look like planes, mainly because of how still the orbs appeared. At first, the formation looked like another classic TR-3B sighting, with three lights forming a triangle. But after watching for a bit longer, things started to get weird. The bottom left light slowly began drifting to the side, and eventually faded out of view. This made it clear that it wasn't a single solid craft, but three separate objects. A few minutes
again, it's too dark to tell. I'm gonna be in skeptic side here for a minute, because especially the way our technology for drones have evolved nowadays. It could be a drone, right? You ever seen a drone light show? Well, they have thousands of drones creating multiple shapes, a flower, a butterfly, a dragon, and they synchronize flawlessly. They can hover around simultaneously in a perfect unison. That's 1,000, and this is only 3 drones. I'm not saying it could be a UAP. Again, it's hard to tell.
The top light did the exact same thing, sliding to the left and fading away as well. What makes this case interesting is that Chicken Andy isn't a UFO researcher or enthusiast. His streams are usually about traveling, exploring, and meeting up with other streamers in real life. So this wasn't something he was actively looking for. Some people suggested the lights could have been military flares, but that explanation doesn't fully add up.
Doesn't make sense.
Flares don't usually stay perfectly still for several minutes
it doesn't
and then
hover.
move off one by
Usually
one.
it'll fall back
Others
down.
suggested they might have been planes, but none of the lights showed blinking navigation patterns, remaining steady the entire time they were visible. In the end, while drones and planes were mentioned as possible
That is
explanations,
not a plane pattern.
nothing truly fits the characteristics of the orbs seen in the video. Because
I've been around planes, jet planes. We've done multiple night flybys, and those are not planes. I know what they look like.
that, the origin of these strange objects over Pflugerville remains unexplained. This sighting happened in April 2025 over Moscow, Russia, but it only really blew up online in early 2026. The video shows a strange saucer-shaped object
looks like a saucer
moving across the night sky. What stands out right away is its lighting, with several lights that appear to be rotating around the craft and a much brighter green light glowing in the center underneath. There also seems to be a faint trail behind it as it moves, which only adds to how unusual it looks. Throughout the video, Russian air defenses can be seen repeatedly attempting to intercept or take down the UFO. However, according to official reports, despite numerous attempts, they were unable to bring light glowing in the center underneath. There also seems to be a faint trail behind it as it moves, which only adds to how unusual it looks. Throughout the video, Russian air defenses can be seen repeatedly attempting to intercept or take down the UFO.
Holy okay.
However,
so many shit is going on this scene. So this UAP have a trail. How come this video, this one right here, does not have a trail? Maybe it's too far away. I don't know. Maybe this one's a different drone. Because this one, the way it's flying, looks like a just straight drone. But none of the their anti-aircraft missiles is hitting it. Either Russia has a shitty technology when it comes to their air defense, or this thing is just unhittable. It is fascinating though when we saw this part right here. You see that? It looks like a saucer shape with pulsating light in the bottom. It pulses to a different color, and it's fascinating to see the vapor trail that's coming out. But why you don't normally see vapor trail like that unless it's powered by like a gasoline, jet fuel. Why is it leaving a vapor trail? Most UAP that I see do not leave a vapor trail. That is fascinating. Could be one of the military's reverse engineered or engineered UAP that they're testing out.
Adds to how unusual it looks. Throughout the video, Russian air defenses can be seen repeatedly attempting to intercept or take down the UFO.
That's crazy.
However, according to official reports, despite numerous attempts, they were unable to bring the object down. Authorities claim the object was simply a Russian helicopter mistaken for a foreign craft. However, many people strongly disagree with this explanation.
Again, I've been in the military. I've seen helicopters fly day, night. That's not a helicopter. There's no way that's a freaking helicopter.
The light pattern doesn't match a helicopter at all, especially the idea of lights arranged around what would be the rotor area
the vapor trail
and
like
a
that?
large green light on the underside. On top of that, reports say the UFO didn't show up on Russian radar, which makes the helicopter theory even harder to believe. The faint trail behind the craft is another detail that doesn't really fit with normal helicopters. Because of all these inconsistencies, the official explanation has been widely rejected online. Many now believe the footage could show a real UFO, or at least something far more advanced or unusual than a standard aircraft.
Okay, this one's a little bit more credible than the last two videos that we saw during the evening.
Still, with limited information and no clear follow-up, the true nature of this object remains unknown. And it's very likely we'll never get a clear answer about what was really
you will
flying
never
over
get a
Moscow
clear answer.
that night. Now let's take a look at two very similar sightings that happened just one day apart. Because of how alike they are, there's a chance they could be connected.
Shooting star?
The first sighting happened on December 25th, 2025, over Sacramento, California.
Like
the video shows a bright light racing through the clouds at an insane speed.
It's like a meteoroid shower.
The object doesn't move like a plane or a helicopter at all. Instead, it darts across the sky and then suddenly vanishes behind the mountains, almost like it shut off or slipped out of view. The second sighting was recorded the very next day, on December 26th, this time in Clayton, North Carolina. Once again, the same phenomenon can be seen, but this time performing different kinds of maneuvers. Both videos quickly went viral, pulling in over 6,000 likes and more than 1,000 comments. Among those comments, many...
Again, it's too hard to see because it's covered in the fog. It could be that what I talked about earlier, you know, those synchronized drones. Like I've seen Disney put this show. They have thousands or hundreds of synchronized drones, make different kinds of shapes. And there's also a high-speed drones. So it could be a synchronized high-speed drones. I want to be able to see more.
People tried to make sense of the sighting,
I need to
with
see
the most
more.
common explanation being that the lights were simply powerful spotlights.
It could be a
shining
spotlight
into the
too.
clouds.
That could be it.
However, not everyone agreed with
But
that
this one
explanation,
could be.
pointing out that no light beams could be seen coming from the ground, which would normally be expected with spotlights. For such reasons, some believe the lights could be reflections caused by UFOs hidden within the clouds, or even cloaked objects moving above them. In the end, most skeptics brush both videos off as simple light projections.
Yeah,
while
I'm
others
gonna be.
remain convinced there's something more going on.
I'm gonna be one of those
With no
skeptics.
clear proof either way,
I need a clear
both
proof.
sightings are still unexplained. But before we move to the next sighting, if you've been enjoying the video, please consider subscribing.
He's
It's
got more.
free, and it really supports the channel.
Skywatch TV.
This next sighting took place on January 22nd, 2026, when a faint black shape was seen hovering in broad daylight. According to the witness, the object was very far away
That object looks huge, especially from this distance, this far away.
and barely visible at 1st, and they watched it for about a minute before recording.
It
The
landed.
witness also noted
Looked
that
like it
after
landed.
the short video ended, the object
Oh, no, it
disappeared
didn't.
completely. The UFO was estimated to be around 5 kilometers away, and at one point, they considered that it might be something like a tarp. However, for that to be the case, it would have had to be absolutely massive to be visible from that distance.
Yeah, that's what I'm
The
saying.
object appears to have a triangular shape and looks almost semi-transparent.
A tarp.
Even with heavy
That'd be
fog
funny.
in the area, some details can still be made out, which only adds to how strange it looks. Additionally, the UFO doesn't appear to move erratically or behave like something being carried by the wind. The main explanation proposed was that the unidentified object could have been a murmuration of birds. However, the original poster strongly disagreed with that idea, arguing that from such a distance, a bird murmuration wouldn't even be visible in the video. Because of its unusual appearance, some people began to speculate that the object could have been a
Could be.
cloaked UFO. But with no additional footage, and these two theories still colliding, the incident remains unexplained. But if you want to see 5 more shocking UFO sightings, click the video appearing on your screen right now.
We'll do it next time. This video is already 18 minutes. So, fascinating. There's only one in there that kind of convinced me it might be a UAP project or an actual UAP. But the rest of them, I don't know. I need more. I need more proof before I can make my decision.